Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jab Wrestling Podcast, because the JAB is the place to be. Sadly, my friend Jay couldn't make it today. That rhymes, that's pretty cool. But we're going to talk today about the G1 Climax from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, for those of you that don't know about the G1 Climax, the 20 of the top guys in New Japan, they're split into two groups of 10, Block A and Block B. The winners of each block go on to the finals, and the winner gets a world title shot at Wrestle Kingdom, which is New Japan's equivalent of WrestleMania. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know any Japanese. I don't really speak Japanese. I know 1 to 10 and a few things like, where's the toilet? So, if my pronunciation is terrible, please don't slaughter me. If I don't know some of the finishing moves, again, please don't slaughter me. But G1 Climax starts and I'm psyched. Day one, I'm not going to go through the tag team matches that usually happen at the start, because that's quite laborious. If anything interesting happens, I'll mention it. But right now, we're just going to concentrate on the matches for the G1. So tonight we had Block A starting off. We've got Jushin Thunder Liger on commentary, which is quite a nice little touch. And our first match is Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Tomohiro Ishii. Now, for those of you that are aware, Ishii is part of Chaos, which is the same group that Okada, the champion, is in. And he's known as the Stone Pitbull. He's a strong man, strong style. Whereas Tenzan, he used to be in a tag team. He's also winner of the G1 Climax on 2 occasions. But there was a storyline going into this where his name wasn't on the list for this year. And his tag team partner, Satoshi Kojima, his name was on the list. So Kojima did a very nice thing, very gentlemanly thing, and gave his position to Tenzan. So Tenzan is replacing Kojima in the G1, and it's kind of a big story that, you know, can Tenzan do it again and win 3 times? I don't believe anyone's won it 3 times, so this could be the first time ever. So we have Tenzan versus Ishii. Kojima's in Tenzan's corner, and the crowd is big time behind Tenzan. There's stiff forearms to start the match, and then Tenzan does this swoosh move where he kind of double hits the trapeziums. He kicks him to the face, stomps in the corner. It's a big shoulder block by Ishii, big chops by Ishii. Ishii's a big strongman style guy. He powers Tenzan up for a huge suplex, but only a 2 count. Ishii's goading Tenzan, more forearms, a spinning heel kick by Tenzan, more of the swooshes to the trapeziums. Ishii's selling the hell out of his trapeziums. I love Ishii selling, it's amazing. Big corner clothesline, more stomps, another corner clothesline, and then a brain buster by Tenzan. Only a 2 count. A release power slam by Ishii. Tenzan straight up and he hits a Samoan drop. Are Japanese people allowed to use Samoan drops? I don't know. But Ishii powers up anyway. They double clothesline, but they're both still on their feet. It's a huge chop. And it was a huge chop, trust me. It was a woo kind of moment. And then Ishii corner clotheslines, more forearms, another corner clothesline. Ishii sells his own arm because the clothesline hurts that much. He picks Tenzan up by the ears. Another huge corner clothesline, but only a 2.5 count. Getting closer though. Kojima's on the side shouting encouragement for his man. Then there's a top rope struggle for supremacy. And Tenzan hits this weird reverse bulldog. I don't know what else to call it. And Ishii's selling his head and his neck. So Tenzan's up top and he hits a diving headbutt. 2 count. Tenzan then puts on the Anaconda Vice submission, and it seems like he's bleeding from the mouth. And then he picks Ishii up for this kind of rock bottom type maneuver. It's not really a rock bottom, but it has that kind of generality to it. But he goes for the pin, doesn't get it. Tenzan's up top, but Ishii cuts him off, and he hits this huge power bomb. Kojima's screaming for Tenzan to get up, and Ishii hits this huge lariat. It just turns Tenzan inside out. The crowd are loving this. He hits the sliding lariat, 2 3/4. Couldn't get any closer. Ishii's wondering what does he have to do to beat Tenzan. He slides his finger across his neck, signalling the end. Then a suplex attempt is blocked by Tenzan. No brainer buster. Big headbutt from Tenzan. Both guys are headbutting each other. It's crazy. Just headbutting each other. Tenzan gets the upper hand, and then he hits like a Michinoku driver for 2. Ishii sells like he's seeing stars. Tenzan goes up top, and he hits a moonsault, an Asai moonsault, for the win. What a great start to the G1, and that was a huge upset. Big question that comes out of this really is Tenzan set to be the first three-time G1 Climax winner? What a story it would be at his age, because he's not a young man anymore. But that's 2 points for Tenzan. Now we're into our second match, which was Tama Tonga versus Togi Makabe. Now Tama Tonga's from the Bullet Club. He comes out first. Makabe comes out next. And Tama Tonga tries to jump the start, but Makabe just hits him with the clothesline. And then a running shoulder block. Tama Tonga does a backdrop to Makabe to the outside, and then he throws Makabe into the guardrail. He drops Makabe's neck onto the guardrail. And let's not forget now, there's a 20 count in New Japan. So Makabe gets in at the count of 14. Tonga drapes Makabe on the second rope, like almost the Randy Orton kind of DDT kind of move. But he hits a swinging neck breaker instead, which is pretty cool. And Makabe's selling the neck. Tonga does a face wash and punches, just match, you know. But then he starts punching him, and Makabe's no-selling, because it's having no effect. You know, seems Makabe's powering up earlier. He's kind of well known for no-selling. But Tama Tonga hits an elbow, forearms, and a headbutt. Makabe's just no-selling. Then Makabe comes out of the corner and just hits his big lariat. And then he starts saying, fuck you, fuck you. Makabe likes swearing a lot while he's punching him. Which is quite humorous to me. Starts doing the 10 punch in the corner. Again, more FUs for the crowd. Hits a Saito suplex, but just a 2 count. Then he hits a running lariato. More FUs and punches. Tama Tonga uses his speed to avoid Makabe, because Tonga's quite a quick guy, you know. And he hits a Hurricane Rana, which looked pretty cool. And then a big corner splash, which was like a Stinger splash, but with more air on it. So it was pretty cool. And then he hits some kind of Death Valley driver. I don't know what it was. It seemed like it might have been partly botched. I'm not quite sure. But he gets the 2 count only. Makabe hits a huge lariat. It has no effect on Tama Tonga. Tama hits a big forearm. No effect. Back and forth, one-upmanship. And then Makabe gets the upper hand with a big clothesline. But only gets a 1 count because Tama Tonga gets straight up. He hits a super punch. Like Roman Reigns style. This is like a new Samoan thing, right? The super punch. Both guys are down. Tama Tonga hits a shoulder tackle. And another corner splash. And then he goes to the top rope. But Makabe hits a huge clothesline to the back of his neck. And then there's like a struggle for supremacy on the top. Makabe falls down off the rope into like a tree of woe. And then he sits back up and delivers this beautiful belly-to-belly release suplex. And his legs are still caught up on the ropes. They look really cool. And then Makabe hits his finisher, which is the top rope knee drop. I'm sure it has a name, but I don't know what it is. And he gets the win. So 2 points for Togi Makabe. Now we're into our third match of the night. And this pits Hirooki Goto versus Bad Luck Fale. Now for those of you that know, or don't know, should I say, Bad Luck Fale is a member of the Bullet Club. He's the undercover boss. He's a big Samoan guy. So he's kind of New Japan's monster, I suppose. The Fale comes out first, and he pushes the ring announcer down straight away. Instant heat. The crowd hate him. So if Goto had any problems with cheers, he won't have them now. We start up. Goto hits 2 shoulder blocks, but he can't knock Bad Fale down because he's just too big. Fale hits a shoulder block of his own. Goto's wondering, what have I let myself in for? I've got no chance with this guy, you know what I mean? Fale takes him down. Goto reverses it into an arm lock. Then Fale goes to the ropes. Break. Referee breaks. Irish whip reversal by Fale. Goto goes to the second rope. And Fale clotheslines him completely out of the ring. Goto's selling his knee. He seems to have landed awkwardly on his knee. Goto's thrown into the guardrail twice. Goto eventually comes in and breaks the count at 18. Again, New Japan has a 20 count rule on the outside. Fale stands on Goto's back and he's using the rope for leverage like Andre the Giant used to back in the day. Hits a huge scoop slam. Puts the foot on the chest for the arrogant pin. Only a 2 count. Fale misses a corner splash completely, and Goto hits a running lariato. Fale's still on his feet. Goto hits another lariato, and Fale's still on his feet. But the third one's ducked. And then he hits him, which is pretty cool. So Fale's down. A tissue, we all Fale down. Goto hits a spinning heel kick in the corner. Top rope elbow for 2. Tries to pick Fale up, fails. Reverses. Fale hits the corner splash this time. Big splash for 2. Fale hits the Samoan spike choke slam, which was like Umaga's old move. But he only gets 2.5. And that's Fale's finisher, so he's not very happy. He has got another finisher, which is pretty much the razor's edge. He goes for it, but Goto gets out. Goto hits a big knee. A neckbreaker attempt's reversed into a suplex attempt, which is reversed into a sleeper by Goto. That was a pretty cool little reversal move there. Fale's down on his knees, and Goto hits like a neckbreaker onto the knee. Pins. 1, 2, 3. 2 points to Hirooki Goto. And now we are into match 4, which pits Sanada against Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is the ace of New Japan. Now, some of you may be aware of Sanada from TNA, because he used to be the X Division champion back then. He was also in the Revolution with James Storm, and he was the Great Sanada. He had like a Great Muta kind of gimmick where he used to spit the mist. But now he's got this badass gimmick where he's part of Los Ingobernables. Sanada comes out wearing a black skull mask, and he's sporting like a baseball bat. And of course, he gets booed. There are some cheers for Sanada, to be fair, but mainly he's getting booed. But then the ace is back, and huge pop for Tanahashi. Everyone's happy to see Tana. But the big question is, after his injury at the hands of Kenny Omega, does Tanahashi still have it? That's the big question. Has he slowed down in any way? Who knows? We're going to find out. Sanada starts off by going southpaw just to confuse Tanahashi. There's an arm lock exchange, back and forth to a standoff. Tana gains control of the headlock. Tana hits an arm drag back into a headlock. The start reminded me of Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect from SummerSlam 91 for the IC title, one of the greatest matches of all time. And this was my favourite match of the night. It wasn't to the level of Hart Perfect, but just the beginning reminded me of it, the way they were feeling each other out. Sanada doesn't break clean, so obviously we know he's the heel. He kicks to the midsection instead. Tana reverses Sanada into the guardrail. That poor guardrail is taking a proper beating tonight. I seem to be going to it a lot. That guardrail has a family, damn it! Sanada does an arm wringer using the rail, and Tanahashi's selling that arm. He's selling it really well. Again, we have a 20 count, so Tanahashi gets in at 18, so it's pretty close. But Sanada keeps working the arm, which I really like. He keeps going back to it during the match. Tana's off the ropes. Sanada does a double leapfrog and then into a drop kick. And it looked really pretty, I have to say. Two leapfrogs, one after the other, and then a drop kick. Some real height on there. Only gets a 2 count. And then he goes straight back to the arm again. Eye rake by Sanada. And then Tanahashi hits a flying forearm. Kind of reminded me of Tito Santana. Arriba! And he sells his arm because it hurt so much from doing it, which was quite good. Scoop slam from Tana, and then he hits like a second rope. It's not a swanton, but he does like a flip. Only gets a 2 count. Tana misses a drop kick, then Sanada misses an Asai moonsault. Tana does a dragon screw to get the upper hand again, but Sanada rolls to the outside. And Tana comes off the top rope with his crossbody to the outside. Looked pretty. It was like a high fly flow, crossbody type move. Both men are down. Sanada comes back in at 16. And Tanahashi's working the leg with dragon screws. Getting on that leg. And then he does this beautiful cloverleaf type submission. Like the lasso from El Paso. And Sanada gets the break. Break! Sanada hits a beautiful springboard dropkick. It's a thing of beauty. Sanada goes back to the arm, which is really good stuff. I love the fact he keeps working the arm. Forearms back and forth, European uppercuts back and forth. It's like an uppercut party. There's no other party like an uppercut party because an uppercut party don't stop. Sanada hits a fireman's carry into a front face slam for 2, and then he tries to get the Dragon Sleeper on, but it's reversed. And then it's reversed back. And then he sits down on it and scissors his legs, sinks it in. Tana's hand drops down. 1, 2, no! It's like the old Hulk Hogan style, yeah? Sanada goes to the top but misses a moonsault from the top, but he lands on his feet, which is pretty cool. And then Sanada hits a neck breaker. And then a slinger blade! Full Nelson into a suplex bridge would look really nice, but just a 2 count. The high fly flows reversed into a cutter, kind of RKO style, and it was out of nowhere. It looked really good. Only 2 3/4 though. Sanada goes up top for the Asai moonsault. 2 7/8. This kick out couldn't have been quicker. It could have been a 3. It was so close. Sanada goes back up top. He hits a second moonsault, sinks in the Dragon Sleeper, and Tanahashi taps out. What the... Are you kidding me? Tanahashi tapped out? Oh my god. This is a big upset. And we have to ask ourselves, has the ace lost a step? Well, we'll soon find out as the tournament progresses, I'm sure. But Sanada limps away, still selling down the aisle. And your winner, and 2 points, Sanada! And now we come to our main event of the evening, scheduled for 1 fall, with a 20-minute time limit. That was pretty good. We have the arrival of Naomichi Marufuji, who I've never actually seen wrestle, but he's a previous Noah champion. I think he's the current tag team champion, and he is facing the man, the Rainmaker, New Japan World Champion, Kazuchika Okada. So this is going to be champ versus champ, and Okada has Goto, who is his manager, bringing him down to the ring. We start off the match with armbar reversals from both men. Okada hits a running shoulder block, a leapfrog reversal, back and forth standoff. Fans love Okada, don't they? They really do love Okada. He's probably the guy who's most taken advantage of Nakamura leaving and AJ Styles. He's really filled that gap, so the fans are big time on his side. Okada hits a basement drop kick, and then does like a rude awakening, which looked pretty cool. It wasn't quite a rude awakening, but it looked pretty cool. Okada's working on the neck. Marufuji hits a drop kick to Okada's arm, which is hung over the ropes. The right arm, unusually. Normally they work the left arm, but they did it with the right arm. He whips the arm into the ring post, and he sandwiches the arm between those guardrails again. Those poor guardrails. They have families, damn it! Okada's screaming in pain, selling it really well, which I really liked. Marufuji keeps working the arm. They start trading forearms and chops. Marufuji with big chops in the corner, and goes straight back to the arm again. A running flying elbow in the corner. Okada hits a backdrop. Goto's cheering his man on. Okada hits 3 running elbows. And then we see a running flying elbow of his own in the corner. Then he hits a DDT, and then Okada nips up and hits a flying European uppercut, which looked really, really cool. Something Cesaro would have been proud of. Only gets a 2 count. We see a scoop slam, and then a clothesline by Marufuji. Okada rolls out of the ring. Marufuji jumps over the top rope and goes straight onto Okada's head. Ouch. It wasn't a botch, but ouch. And then he bangs Okada's arm onto the apron. He wraps his arm around the post and starts pulling on it. And the referee shouts, "Break, break, break, break!" Marufuji bending and contorting the arm in various arm locks. Goto looks really worried. Maybe there's a problem with Okada's arm, I don't know. But he looks upset. Goto's banging on the canvas and trying to get the crowd behind his man. And Okada eventually gets to the rope. Break, 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 break! Marufuji hits uppercuts to the arm and big chops. Reversal, and Okada hits a flapjack, which looked pretty cool. Both guys are down. They're trading forearms and chops. Marufuji hits a drop kick. Okada rolls out the ring again. We see a springboard crossbody to the outside by Marufuji. Then he hits a springboard basement drop kick for a 2 count. And then Okada hits like a white riot to the knee, which was kind of weird, but it looked pretty cool. and then he hits a top elbow drop. And then there's calls for the Rainmaker, the big Rainmaker clothesline. But Marufuji elbows out and hits a big knee. It looks like he took his chin off, man. That was stiff. Hits an Enziguri, followed by a beautiful Sabot kick. He goes for like a sliced bread attempt, but Okada sits him on the rope and delivers a perfect drop kick. The height he gets on these drop kicks is quite amazing. Okada goes for the tombstone, but it's reversed, and Marufuji hits a straight kick. Okada hits another drop kick, goes for the Rainmaker again, but it's reversed, and then it's reversed back into a German suplex. Okada's still holding on for the German suplex, and then he goes for the Rainmaker, but Marufuji kicks the bad arm. Nice move. Kicks Okada in the face, high knee, which was again sick, man. It was so sick. And then he hits a fisherman suplex into a brain buster and gets the 3 count. Wow, another huge upset. Marufuji does a promo to send the crowd home happy, and Marufuji has 2 points. So the 2 early favourites, Tanahashi and Okada, both lose. This sets up Block A really nicely, to be honest. So the big questions coming out of day 1. The 2 early favourites have lost. Tanahashi and Okada both lost. So are Tanahashi and Okada going to go on to glory and win the G1 this year? Or is the Noah champ, Marufuji, is he the one to watch? Or is Tenzan just destined to win? All this and more will be answered as Block A continues on day 3. Day 2, Block B starts, and I can't wait.